On November the 4th, 2023, I went to TEAMSPORT Stoke for the very first time. And to put it bluntly, I had about as much fun on that visit as I did when my right index finger once almost went septic.
Ryan! For f***'s sake!
Slow carts, awkward traction, and slightly stricter marshalling than I was used to meant that I left the place with no intention of ever going back. But, eventually, I did go back. And with a bit more karting experience under my belt, I could come to appreciate TEAMSPORT Stoke for what it was. A decent enough track, but obviously not one of TEAMSPORT's A-list locations. But while I was busy one-trick ponying fast lane karting and exploring other tracks with my friends, the karting forces that be were hard at work in the background. At some stage, grip paint was added to certain points of the track, most notably the big double apex on the bottom floor. And this admittedly small change was actually a remarkable shift in the right direction. The track was more fun to drive on, but there were still areas of improvement that needed addressing. Until recently. TEAMSPORT Stoke has since really upped its game, renovating the building to make the bar area slightly bigger, and on track, all new lighting systems which made it impossible for anyone who wasn't legally blind to miss a flag. But the pièce de résistance? The renovated fleet of karts. Old chassis, new parts. Faster, more responsive, featuring a boost that actually increases the speed of the karts in contrary to newer BizKart models, and much better handling. And now, TEAMSPORT Stoke has officially crossed the threshold from trash to cash. TEAMSPORT Stoke's steady redemption arc in my eyes happened over a steady span of sessions, after my curiosity got the better of me and I decided to give it a try. I was so impressed by this place when I went that I actually decided to tell my friends about it. So, after our Dunstable race, a spontaneous detour to TEAMSPORT Stoke occurred, and I was giving my friends the rundown of the track. I told them, because it was their first time there, the kind of lap time they were aiming for was within the realm of about 34 seconds. But, wow, these guys absolutely blew me away. Here's how that went. And the lights go green, and let's go racing. Now, we've got a bit of a clustered start here, so I'm going to bring back our old friend, the overtake counter, because I've just got past someone right there. George is already trying to overtake me from the left side. He accidentally rear-ends someone, which gives me the perfect opportunity to slip by. But now things are going to start spacing out, which means things are going to get a little less incident-prone, and now I'm going to try and catch Ryan up ahead. It took me a couple of laps though, because I'm still right behind Ryan after at least 3 laps of chasing him. We're catching up to the back of Hellgas right here. I've not really been using my boosts though, because I've been trying to save them for actual decent hot laps, and I know for a fact that I can gain on Ryan in this down ramp section here because I've got more track knowledge than he does. So as we come sailing around this hairpin, I start looking to the inside. I alert him to my presence, and he kind of just goes wide to let me through, and I secure that overtake. I'm not sure if that counts, considering I basically just told him I was there, but screw it, I'm counting it anyway. You can't stop me! Now this right here is Hellgas, so as we come barreling down the down ramp once again, it's time for me to make a move on him. He gets cut up by this guy in front of him, which means I go straight for the inside line, dive for the apex, and secure the move. And now for the guy that cut him up, we're going to come up the up ramp, press the boost button just as we're cresting the up ramp to get all that delicious speed boost, dive to the inside, head straight for the apex, get the move done, and try my best not to rear end this person right here. I go to the inside to get past them, and now I've got some nice clean track ahead of me. And I see someone ahead of me that I think I need to catch up with. That is actually Josh up ahead of me, but we've got some back markers to deal with first. So this guy right in front of me brakes sharply, so I take some quick evasive action to get past him, and I overtake 2 people in the space of 1 corner. Josh, however, sees me in the corner of his eye and decides, for whatever reason, to simply let me past. Maybe he wants to study my line a little bit, or maybe he just doesn't really want to fight me. It's his prerogative. I understand why he did it. Now, I've been lapping a few 34s in this session, but this lap right here is going to be my first 33, which isn't exactly the fastest lap you can do around here, but at the time, it was one of my fastest laps. And I'm going to take this opportunity to explain everything I'm really enjoying about this track. The faster speed of the karts means that the track flows a lot better, the grip paint and the new kart components make for a brilliant combination, and I'm really loving these screens and the boost button, which tells you your exact time delta as well as how many boosts you've got left. I'll be honest, I wish that the boosts weren't really budgeted, but, you know, whatever they can manage. And that right there was a 33.85. Not one of my fastest laps, but definitely one of my fastest at this point in time when the session was recorded. Now let's see if I can get past this person in front of me that I appear to have caught up with. It seems like it's going to be an easy job. They're cruising carefully on the outside, so I'm just going to cut to the inside, get past, and see if I can catch up to anyone else. Now, I'm about to have a little bit of a whoopsie with this person in front of me who's going considerably slower than I am because, well, they're just here for a bit of fun. As we come to the bottom of this down ramp, they brake sharply, and I'm used to not applying any brakes whatsoever and just sending it through that corner, causing a little bit of a bump. Thankfully, it was nothing serious, but, well, whoopsie doodle. It's a lot later into the session now, and as I crest the up-ramp right here, this session's about to take a bit of an interesting turn. As I come round this corner, the track goes red, and you'll notice the tyre barrier right here has been puffed up slightly. So, what the hell has gone down here? Well, in this footage, graciously provided to me by Josh on what looks like a mobile phone camera, if you pay attention to the corner right there, you'll notice the tyres suddenly puff up. What's actually happened there is someone has decidedly aimed for the apex of that corner, missed it entirely, forgotten where the brake pedal was, and gone headfirst into it. They have also managed to wedge the car so deep into the tyre barrier that it took 10 minutes for them to lift this red flag. Fortunately, the driver's okay. Don't worry about it. After 10 agonizing minutes of waiting, though, it's time to finally get moving once again, and we are in the closing stages of the first session right here, and it's at some point in this session that I actually noticed just how close Ryan and Connor's times are to mine, and this is where I really start locking in here. My over-competitive sore loser R simply will not accept anything lower than P1 at my local track when these guys have only just gotten here. So I lock in for this final lap right here because it's going to be the last lap I have a boost available on. The hairpin at the bottom of the ramp I take absolutely flawlessly that time, although that hairpin there could have used a little bit of work because my exit does yield a little bit of contact with the barriers. This one right here though, I do my best to make sure that I enter the ramp gradually instead of bogging myself down. I hit the boost, I cut the apexes nice and tight, I dart towards the finish line, and my fastest lap for that session appears to be a 33.17. Now, with that in mind, it's going to be my goal to break into the 32s today, but it's not going to happen in the first session, so we're going to pull into the pits right here, and I'm going to take the time to explain my thoughts on the newly renovated TEAMSPORT Stoke so far. So, nothing but overwhelming praise from me so far. These newly upgraded karts are an absolute blast to drive. The boost actually feels like a boost, which is nice, and because this is still technically the same fleet as their combat karts, having a steering wheel which tells you your timing and track position is actually incredible. My friends did brilliantly for my first time here, with Connor almost setting a time faster than my own during this session. However, I'm competitive, I'm feeling myself, and now I've got 2 more sessions to try and redeem myself. So, let's see if I can break into those 32s once and for all. So jumping straight into it, we're on the tail of George right here, and as we come barreling down the down ramp, he takes the line kind of messier than I expect, and I almost go straight into him. He kind of loses his traction here, but I just managed to find a gap through. And he's actually shouting at me in that clip, so I'm not sure if he thinks that's my fault or not, but oh well, we're past. You might notice here that I'm not using my speed boost because I'm trying to set up for a hot lap. This is, however, going to cause something rather surprising because on my inside, someone actually attempts a dive bomb and almost gets the move done. But fortunately, I have more exit speed coming out of that corner so I can maintain the position for now. But still, I admire that move. Now we've caught up to a bit of a pack, but one of them is kind of letting us all through, so there's not really much stress there. The guy in the grey helmet is on the inside line, and he decides to try and take the corner a bit tight, clips the barrier, and I accidentally nudge the back of him as a result. This person on my outside, I make sure to give plenty of space, and that's going to pay off because I'm looking for the inside line here, and the person behind me gives me a very helpful nudge through. However, unfortunately, it is another red flag.
Oh, it's on. It's on. You just use your boost. After the red flag.
Pretty unfortunate that he used his speed boost after the red flag flew, but, well, the session goes on. Let's continue. And now coming up is my fastest lap of session 2. I make sure to utilize all of the track because, well, let's be honest, I paid for all of it. So I'm making sure to try and hit every apex as cleanly as I can. Now these two corners here are the most critical of the lap. You have to get your entry into the down ramp perfect, and then that hairpin there, you have to perfectly control the kart through the low traction area. The rest is kind of elementary. The entry onto this ramp is also pretty important. You want to make sure that you're not bogging the kart down as you actually go onto the elevation change. Hit the boost right as the ramp crests, and I've crossed the line and set a 33.26, which is tantalizingly close to the 32 I so crave. This individual here gives me a nice little gap to get through, so I just send it straight through, shut them out at the next corner, and it's always nice when I can follow up a hot lap with a nice overtake. Speaking of tantalizingly close, nothing got closer to my goal of the 32s than this lap right here. So I get a nice clean start, I hit every apex I come up to, get a nice entry into this corner. I'm on the left hand side. This person right here has fortunately gone wide enough that I can continue my lap without any obstruction. I sail through that corner there, keeping tight to the apex, making sure that I don't let the traction catch me off guard. Coming to this hairpin here, I make sure to gradually enter the ramp so that the elevation change doesn't bog me down. I hit the boost, I sail directly towards the line, and throw it around the first corner, only to see that I have set a 33.02. My reaction is one of pure surprise, and it's really frustrating to be this close to the goal and not quite reaching it, as I'm about to express to Hellgast right here.
Mate, 33.02. I'm so close. 33.02. I'm this close. Oh, I hate that so much.
Alas, there's only one real way to alleviate my frustration, and that's to jump straight back on track and get to session 3. Once again, I find myself behind George, so I do what I do best, and I give chase. This guy in front of him takes a really sharp line and then just sort of breaks in the middle of the track, so I use that opportunity to find the inside line on George, and I'm doing my kangaroo impression just to try and get past him. Now things are going to get a little bit interesting here, because this guy in the omp suit is going a little bit slowly, and he almost squeezes the guy in front out, but the guy in front, well, finds his way past. The guy in the omp suit brakes sharply again, which lets George straight back through, and I just sort of accidentally bump him out of the way. Now I've got to find my way past George again, but this guy in front is going to cause a little bit of chaos, frankly. Now this guy ahead of us is confusing me and George a lot because we're not exactly sure where his lines are and why he's driving like he's Waluigi. It confuses me so much that I accidentally send him into that corner, and when I try to apologize to him, I almost crash into someone else. So I'm a little bit confused, and now I'm going to try and catch up to this guy and try and find a way around. But he drives really strangely. He likes to brake all the way to a stop in the down ramp corner. He tends to really sharply throw the kart into corners, and I almost find a move on him there, but the yellow flag means that I have to back out. So I can't make that move stick, and I'm still stuck behind this guy for a while. I was stuck behind this guy for a really, really long time. So long, in fact, that we both come and lapped the dude in the omp suit. But I need to find my way past this guy as quick as I can because I am hemorrhaging session time away, and I just want to try and set a hot lap. So I decide to make the move stick right here. He gets a compromised exit out of the down ramp hairpin, so I just find the opportunity to throw it down the inside and take the position. Now I've only got 10 minutes left in the session because of that unnecessary battle, and this is where I need to start try-harding in order to set that lap. One thing that definitely hindered my efforts though was finding Ryan Cirrus kind of stopped on the apex of that corner. I think his kart cut out right there, to be honest, so that's why we've come to a stop right here. And look at the speed of this Marshall coming to recover him. Dude was on a mission. God damn. Okay, now that I've got that out of my system, it's time to actually focus. No more jokes, no more memes. Let's set that sub 33. So as I cross the line, I do my best to basically do the same line I've been doing all session. I feel like the missing tenths are all down in the low traction part of the circuit because that's where I need to get the most kart control. I throw it into the apex here, I get a lot of exit speed, I carefully bring the kart around, I get as much exit speed as I can with a nice and wide exit without actually making contact with the barriers. Right here, I turn to land on the ramp while not compromising my speed with the elevation change. I hit the boost, I absolutely send it across the line, and if you pay attention to my screen, you'll see a 32.85. I'm pretty sure everyone on track heard me shout that, but honestly, that kind of jubilation was deserved because that lap was really hard in the works, and I am really proud of myself for doing it. But what's gonna absolutely amaze me is the fact that I am not the only person to have set a sub 33 on this session. As I pull into the pits for the final time after the rest of the session was kind of uneventful, I'm cheering with jubilation, I pull the kart forward to its stopping point, and then I notice something on the steering wheel.
Oh my god, Connor! Connor! Woo!
Connor is 0.08 of a second off of my fastest time after that session, which means at his first time at TEAMSPORT Stoke, he has also set a sub 33. Here's how he reacted when he found out.
Got it! We did it! Got it! We both did it!
Wait, I got one.
You got one as well?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure you did.
I said 33.29 or something.
Did it?
I could have sworn it did. I
Mate,
33.9.
after that last lap, you were 0.8 off of my time, and I had a 32.85.
Oh!
Pretty sure you're in the 32s.
Okay, I think our times are wrong because
I think Connor's got one as well.
32.9!
That's amazing.
Holy bloody times. I pushed Ryan back into the pits because his cart was dead. Sorry for not letting.
Give me one then.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
Connor, give me one then.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, TEAMSPORT Stoke. Once a track of great contentious nature to me, now has become my new favourite haunt. And since it's one of the few tracks not to fall victim to corporate glutton-sating price hikes, it's also one of the most cost-effective tracks in TeamSport's roster right now too. My only complaints I can really lever against this place now are that the infrastructure in place often causes the staff to struggle when the place gets really busy, meaning a delay is almost inevitable during peak hours, even though the staff there are incredibly friendly and hardworking people. There's also the fact that this track is one of the few tracks to not host 50-lap race events, which is a crying shame because if they did, I would be attending one every single week, and I'd love to get a bunch of you together to race with me here as well. But, overall, this little track went through one hell of an upgrade, and this place is, to quote the YouTuber Sir Swag, proof that the dorky kid in high school can grow up to become an absolute Chad. It's fantastic, and I have absolutely no qualms recommending it to any of you. Big congratulations are of course in order to Carts Against Humanity for somehow setting a 32.9 on his very first visit to this track. It took me about 15 visits, but this dude just nailed it immediately. Well done, mate. And all of my friends for absolutely blowing my expectations out of the water, because I was expecting these guys to set like 35s, 34s. Everyone, and I mean everyone, set a 33.6 or under. It was absolutely ridiculous how well these guys did, and I'm really, really proud of them. Thank you for watching this video. Your continued support to this channel has been absolutely unparalleled, and I am eternally grateful. And thank you to TeamSport for not giving up on this place and helping it blossom from a mediocre footnote at the bottom of the profit graph to a genuinely fantastic experience. Although, seriously, start hosting some 50-lap races here. I am begging and pleading